Again, backstage, Chip's Enuff, man. It is CATHOUSE Live. How you doing today, Chip?
Very well, thank you for asking. Really excited about this CATHOUSE Live. Ricky Rackman and Tammy too from Faster Pussycat. Those guys really are the main conduit to this CATHOUSE Live, along with Live Nations as well. Putting together all these bands that have collectively sold about 75 to 100 million records. And I'm very, very grateful that Enuff Snuff got a chance to be a part of this, because we are a Chicago band, but we left an indelible mark in Los Angeles, and we frequented a cat house when we were younger and played a couple shows there and hung out with the guys in Guns N' Roses and all the great bands that have come from that era. So tonight's going to be an incendiary night, 2 different stages, and everybody looks good. I see all the bands walking around. Kiefer looks like a star still. He hasn't aged at all. And Faster Pussycat in the dressing room, they're drinking everything you could think of. And they're having a great time, yeah. And I think that with all the bands, Little Caesar, I'm real excited about seeing them as well. Yeah, he's always a good friend of mine from years ago. He's a terrific artist. So, yeah, I'm just really happy to be a part of it, and I'm hoping that there's some burning of the candle at both ends at the end of this, because I'm ready to partake. We're just finishing our tour, so
it's not any energy or
no, not leave one stone unturned.
That's it. Well, you know, growing up in Chicago, who were your heroes? Who really, you know, influenced you to kind of want to do this?
Well, in the early days, Donnie and I looked at the older bands, Zeppelin and Queen, Bowie, The Who, Mott the Hoople, Sweet. And there's Pink Floyd. There's so many to mention, really. Sex Pistols. We always loved over the pond what the bands brought there. They're very innovative, and they're flamboyant and flashy, and a lot of glitter rock. But for Chicago bands, I'm a huge Cheap Trick fan. You listen to our records, and you show me a band without influences, I'll show you a band without a record deal. So that was one of our.
Chance to mix it up and play with them.
Yeah, I loved Off Broadway. They were another great band. It was
Robin and Rick.
Well, I wrote songs with those cats. I learned everything from Rick Nielsen and Robin Zander. I look at them like I look at Tyler and Perry or Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. I mean, they're really terrific artists who have just a great sense of balance and wonderful songwriting craft, and they're still going, and they're as good as ever right now.
Yeah, that's definitely inspiring to keep it moving. Well, I know that era when you got signed and put out the first Enuff's Enuff album was a golden time. I mean, MTV was booming. You guys had an amazing video hitting the airwaves. What are your greatest memories about seeing this little music you probably wrote in your bedroom or rehearsal hall, and it was now being shared?
Well, we wrote.
Home in the world.
Well, thank you. Well, we wrote most of the songs in my mother and father's basement in the bathroom. I had a little cassette player. And then we finally found a studio. There's a cop in Chicago, Blue Island, Lieutenant Bob Erft, who said, what are you guys looking to do? And we said, well, we're going to make a record. And he goes, what's going to cost you? I said, well, we're going to need about $500 just to get in the studio and start recording, which is, that would be one day. And he goes, oh, hey, guys, good luck. And he split and came back about an hour later and threw $500 in front of me. He says, get in the studio. And I called the studio at 1 o'clock in the morning. Star Treks in Orland Park, Illinois, and said, hey, my name's Chip. I play in a band called Enuff Snuff, and we want to record some stuff there. And he says, when do you want to start? And I said, right now. And that's we recorded Catholic Girls Day by Day and No Second Time off our first album, which was called 1985. And then we just played clubs and worked open for everybody from Cheap Trick to BTO to Guess Who. It didn't matter who it was, Survivor. Whoever would be kind enough to let us open the shows for them, until we were eventually discovered by a guy named Derek Shulman. Derek Shulman had an imprint. Derek Shulman used to be with a band called Gentle Giant. He was kind enough to come on down. We already had a deal. We knew we were going to get signed eventually because we were really working hard and we were causing a lot of commotion in Chicago. Derek says, I have my own imprint called Atco Records, which is a subsidiary of Atlantic, and I love your band. I want to sign you guys. And that was it. We went in the studio, recorded all the songs. Nobody came down from the label. No one bothered us. They believed in our songwriting craft, and Donnie and I just bashed out a great 20 songs. We took the 10 best ones, put on the record, and went down to MTV and met Rick Krim, and he believed in the band. And it was there was a couple of really good bands at that time. They were coming out. Jellyfish was out at the time. They were terrific. But we got a chance to do a video, and it was real colorful and flamboyant. We might have came out, Adler from Guns N' Roses, so we came out just a little bit too late. It was a little early, maybe 87. We might have had a little bit more of an impact because our stuff was real poppy, but it was aggressive. It was like a metal Cheap Trick.
Yes.
And we were lucky enough to where MTV played a video a few times and people embraced it. And here I am now, 25 years later, 20 albums later, still out there recording and playing songs. So luck is the resin of design, and I'm just lucky to be a part of it at all, even if it's a small little speck of, as Little Steven would say, be grateful if you're a footnote in this business.
No doubt. I mean, when I heard the music, of course you hear the Beatles, of course you hear Cheap Trick, of course you hear Queen and Sweet and Mott the Hoople.
You are what you eat.
Yeah, you guys, had your own style, your own sound in there too, which really, gave it a modern touch and an amazing run of great music. And then of course you moved over, I guess, to Arista Records and another great record. Yeah.
And now we're on Cleopatra Records. Our last Nuff Snuff album was called Covered in Gold. It's all cover songs. We're covering Nirvana and Cheap Trick and the Beatles and Prince and Sly and the Family Stone.
What's your favorite songs on there?
I like, it's all our influences, so it's difficult for me to pick, but I'll tell you, we did a single for The Stroke. We covered Billy Squires' The Stroke, and that did very well for us. So that was a fun one for us, and we did Bowie as well. The whole record's chock full of great songs. We did Gene Genie. And then we did Everything Works If You Let It, and we had Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins playing with us on that track, and he's a big Cheap Trick fan as well. So I think the record shows our influences. We wear them proudly on our sleeves, and my latest endeavor is I have a solo record called Strange Time, and it features Adler, of course, and Dale Bazio from Missing Persons. Xander's on a song, and that we're pushing that right now.
That's amazing. So then what's the difference between the Enuff sound and solo? Were you able to kind of stretch out on some different styles?
Yeah, I don't have Donnie V's pipes. My brother's pipes are fantastic. Yeah. You can't compete with it. Guys like Tyler and Xander love him. Right. So he's an iconic singer. Yeah. He still is great. He's got a solo record out as well called The White Album, if anybody wanted to go check that out. Sure. That's the only difference. The songs could have been Enough Snuff songs. If I would have had Donnie come down and sing on them, he could have done a lot with them, but he was putting a solo record out, and I thought, well, maybe it's my time to put one out as well. Yeah. And I'm proud of both records. I think they're strong records. Mine's a little more of a stoner rock record. You can sit around, smoke pot, and fuck to it. It's real simple. I didn't overthink it. I went in the studio, and everything was recorded on analog 2-inch tape, so not a lot of Pro Tools stuff. And I got great sounds, and sonically, it's a solid record, and I'm real proud of it.
Sure. And what's the greatest thing of all these great bands, this great music, this era? Going around the world, going to different parts of the country, and seeing that camaraderie, seeing that universal language that is this music and this culture. Well,
obviously we're very blessed. If one out of every million bands gets a chance to make it, and it's really tough to stay in the business. So I know I've been blessed because here I am, 30 years later, still touring around the country and playing with all my favorite guys. I mean, these bands collectively, like I said earlier, sold about 100 million records. So to be lumped in with guys who have done really good and left an indelible mark, I'm very proud of that. More than anything, get a chance to go see cultures all around the country. I love Japan. I love Europe. London's one of my favorite places to play, and I love Scotland, great out there in Norway, and even Germany. I wouldn't have been afforded this opportunity if it wasn't for the songs that we've written and for the people that have helped us, MTV, and the great managers we had, Doc McGee and Herbie Herbert and the late Bill Aucoin. So I'm very grateful that I've had this chance, and I don't take it lightly. And just to be back here, everything goes full circle, to be on stage with all these cats playing a half an hour set for, there's going to be 20,000 people here tonight. It's really a blessing, and I thank everybody out there that's been supportive, because it's not easy. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Chip, we really appreciate your time. Can't wait to see you on stage, and please keep that music flowing, man.
Thanks. May the best thing that happened to you last year be the worst thing that happens to you this year, my friend.